Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Forstinning by XaresHolzWelten. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Forstinning by, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, XaresHolzWelten. Now this map is 84.53 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. You betcha. Now I'm going to take just a second here and read just a little bit what the map maker has to say about this because it's kind of interesting. There's a little riddle in here. And as you guys are going to be able to see, this might make a little bit more sense. As the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome. But on this map, all the roads lead to a sawmill, and that's very true. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in just a bit. Now, this map here, it is not just a forestry map, as you can tell by the name of it, but it also is an educational one to a degree here. You'll have all these little billboards on trails that go out throughout the entire map, talking about the flora and fauna of the area. It's pretty darn cool. And if you should be able to solve the riddle of Forstinning, Bavarian heaven is open to you, where a reward awaits you. Now, I have no idea what that means, and I doubt that I'll be able to figure this thing out. But I do want to let you guys know that we are starting this off on new farmers mode. That way you guys know what we get when we start off on new farmers mode. So let's go ahead and start this tour off by looking at the equipment that you start off with on new farmers mode. Alright guys, here is all the equipment that you get, and you do actually start off with all of this stuff on all of the modes, no matter what you start off with. So with that being said, you start off with one JCB fast track for large tractors, not too shabby. Forest machinery, you start off with a routine, actually two routines, I do apologize, a harvester and then a loader, not too shabby. You start off with one Kloss wheel loader. Trucks, you start off with one fancy pickup truck. Forestry equipment, you start off with one Fweagle timber runner. Wheel loader attachments, you start off with the log forks. And then dollies, you do start off with one dolly so you can use your tractor to go ahead and pull the trailer. Not too shabby at all. Now after that, let's go ahead and take a look at the map. And as the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome. But on this map, it makes a little bit more sense. You are going ahead and the sawmill's in the center and everything is all out and about and around you. So it really does kind of make sense. To me, it almost reminds me a little bit of the Hunger Games or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't get that drastic on this map. But with that being said, there are some cool things on here. You do start off with this forest trail. This is kind of like the start of a forest trail. And by going ahead and wandering around on that'll actually take you on all of those where you can see the signs of the different wildlife that you can supposedly see on here, or maybe not see, but you can learn about it. Take a little bit. But you have to speak, well, it might be your first language. For me, it's not. And then down over here, there is a rally track, which we'll go ahead and look at that in a little bit. But going ahead and starting off on here, there are no real production things. You do have, I take that back, you have the sawmill. That's on here. Other than that, there's nothing. You want to go ahead and build something, you're going to have to do it yourself. Farmland-wise, you do start off with plot number 5 and then plot number 28 right here. These plots in this area, though, these are all concrete. It's pretty much for building a base to get yourself rocking and rolling. And all of this all around here is all forestry. Now, taking a look at the most expensive plot here is Field 16, coming in at $494,000. But all of these ones around the outer circle here are relatively close. As you go in, they become a little bit cheaper, and even these ones out here really aren't too bad priced. Honestly, for a forestry map, this really isn't poorly priced at all. The cheapest plot on the map is little tiny field 34, coming in at $16,000. Not too much at all, but all in all, pretty darn classy, I would have to say. Yeah, I mean, that really is all that there is here on the map. There's not too much to it. We'll go take a little tour around so we can go ahead and see all this stuff as we go. And let's jump on that right now. All right, guys, one thing I want to do right off the bat is I want to put the map on the corner so you guys can kind of follow along with me. And as you can see right here, this is what this area is. So, I mean, we do have a little spot right here, but for the most part, it's... I think the thought process is to kind of get this set up as your own personal starting location, your home base, your base of operations. I mean, you do start off with everything here. I do want to point out that you do not start off with any of these buildings here. These buildings are not here when you do start the game off. You do get that on New Farmers mode, and that's it. Just so that you guys do have that little bit of a reference here for you. Now, with that being said, this is all your equipment here. Not too shabby. It's a nice, decent starting location. I mean, it's in the center of the map, so it can't be that bad, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick little wander around here before we go ahead and jump up into the air and fly around. As you can see, and as the description said, everything's in the center of the map. Everything that you're going to need is in the center of the map. There are two locations out towards the edge of the map where you will run into... shoot. I'm going to go this way. Where you will end up running into different places where you need to go ahead and handle different things. It's not too bad, but we'll take this main path out of town here and go ahead and take a look at one of those locations before we really jump too much into this. So like I said, like the description says, this is a forestry map, and as you can see, you got forests. You do have forests out here. There are lots and lots of trees. Here is this one location off to the end here, and as you can see, it's kind of set up as a port, so that's kind of neat. You have your animal dealer down here, pretty cool. You got some places to go about selling some bits and bobs. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. We're gonna go ahead and kind of drive around. Let's go ahead and drive around the exterior here real quick. We'll do that by kind of cutting through the woods here so you guys can kind of see, because the woods is the same no matter where you go. I mean, the tree locations are a little different and whatnot, but the density and all that jazz, that is going to remain the same no matter where you are on the map. So as you can see, this really is a standard how the map is. It's flat. There's not elevation changes. You're not really going to run into any issues that way. So if your goal is to do kind of a pioneering setup where you go ahead, you cut down your trees, and then you make some fields, you're not going to really run into really any issues whatsoever, because this is, like I said, pretty flat. It gives you that capability of really doing what you want to do, doing things that you need to do, doing things that you got to do. Like this right here. We're going to go ahead and we'll take a look at this, because that does repeat itself as we get a little bit farther on down here. And let's face it, I am just a big kid at this point, and when I see something that I can go ahead and jump, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to go ahead and jump it. I don't know about you guys, but to me that seems awfully, awfully cool. And as you can see right here, you do have a place for a little starting thing if you want to have a race with friends and all that jazz. Make it go. Oh, that is just glorious. Oh, I couldn't help myself, guys. I really couldn't help myself at all. So what I'd like to go ahead and do as of this moment is I'd like to come and fly up into the sky and take a look at this map from above so that you guys will know what it looks like from the bird's eye view. All right, everyone, and up we go. Now, as you can see, again, it's a forestry map. What kind of forestry map wouldn't have trees. And I really do like how this all kind of looks from down below, where you do look like you're sitting up in a valley. I mean, once you get up here, it loses a little bit of that luster, but from down below, it really does make it look like you are down in a valley trying to make a go at things. It's a circular valley, kind of an odd looking valley if you ask me, but all in all, it is pretty darn neat. Here is that other location right over here where you have the opportunity of buying and selling things in different ports and little bits and bobs. Like I said, little bits and bobs to go about doing some things. And as you can see, guys, there are jumps and rally points all over this point here. You'd have to pick up some pretty high speed to be able to jump all of that, if you ask me. But ultimately, this does seem like it's a pretty decent looking forestry map. It is set up very uniquely. I will say that. It is a very, very unique looking map on how it's set up. But it's also a very user-friendly setup, if you ask me. So if you're planning on going ahead and you're wanting to get into doing some forestry, giving it a shot, trying it out, I think this might not be that bad of a map to go about doing that. Or if you're a grizzly old veteran of doing forestry, this might be nice for you to jump out and just go to town and make the magic happen. Either way, guys, this is pretty darn slick. Pretty darn slick. And if you guys are liking what you're seeing, liking what you're hearing, go ahead and smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscription. I really does help the channel out a ton. Go ahead and turn that notification bell on and have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself. Go ahead and share this with somebody who likes forestry. That's it. Forestry. Go ahead and share this with forestry. Get some friends together. Comment down below. Let me know, guys. Are you going to play on this one? Will you play on it? How do you feel about it? Do you like circles? Do circles make you nervous? Comment down below. Let me know how you feel about it. And until I see you next time, guys, thanks for stopping by.